over here behind you as West Green.
You'll patch me up the street ones.
Hope we're all stable enough. We've been once we got like
the other being the Maizitis falcon. The next bird that we're going to pull out is in modern day falconry. Historically, talk about this idea of the hood comes from the factor that it has a high metabolism. They have that big jet engine. They have that chest muscle. It's all basically look the same. There are some people like to say it's 3. I go with the 3 for the simple factor it's easier for me to remember. Africa, including around Kenya. Quinny here is a Western or a European barn owl. We have the American barn owl, which looks just like the European or Western barn owl. Now this is Savannah. She is pretty, isn't she? Okay, would you call her ugly? Okay, so if you've been selected, stand up, come on over here. Okay, apparently only one person has been selected so far.
environment based. So
wow.
I have a long history in environmental education, though. I've been all over the place. Hey, you want to hop on? About to get going. We got some garbage bags. So these we actually built to help filter the water that runs into West Creek. So I don't know how many of you have been. Are you familiar with the center? This area used to be a dump back for about, I think it was 22, 25 years. It was a dump, and so all the garbage from Parma was, put in here. You get everything from boots to glass, anything you put in the garbage would be out here. Keep the garbage from leaking out. And the reason you'll see trees over here, going through the clay, and that would let the toxic material that's buried down there seep out. So it's just grass primarily that's planted over here to prevent that from happening. So as toxins and waste and all that stuff we don't want in our drinking water flow down from runoff into the wetlands, the plants that are down there kind of soak up all that matter through the dump, and they actually reconstructed it to flow around this area now. So what you see over here behind you as West Creek isn't what the original pathway of the stream was. 2.5 hours for people to climb them. They only do that about once a year. They go up and maintain them because I guess these guys, they don't want to climb in 2.5 hours every day. They have some strong legs. The bird box you can see, those are for bluebirds. They're cavity nesters, so those boxes are supposed to help replicate like a little hole in a tree. So that's where they like to live. So other cavity nesters might be, they're not going to go in these bird boxes, but like small owls, other types of birds like bluebirds. So the snakes will crawl in there. We have to probably flush those out. I haven't done it yet, like I said, only better 10 days. But they might eventually do that. I need to go get some snakes out of the box. I see you big look for a lot of research. And then in 2006, I think, 2013, so about 9 years ago. It's a pretty new facility. Hope we're all staying warm up. If anyone wants to use my blanket, I'm not using it. Everyone okay? You see big vents? They put that vents up to see if the oak trees they really like not growing up because all the deer were eating them. So I'd assume they'd be relatively similar here. And they'll give you a little stamp. I think you get a photo. What's that? This has been a park since 2006. It was part of the Clear Metro Parks, and the Watershed Stewardship Center became a park in 2013. That helped to petition another source of like runoff and pollution from like all the fertilizer from the golf courses. So then eventually got the backing to turn it into a nature preserve and then a park. 3rd through 5th grade are my favorite. So you guys are always really cool. I'm so interested in learning stuff at it. When are we done? Deep trail. We also have mountain bike trails. If anyone's into that, or mountain bike trails, and then a little bit down about like wetlands. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll give my tram speech now. Please wait till the vehicle comes to a full complete stop.
All right. Thank you for coming out to World Water Day celebration here at the Watershed Stewardship Center. This is actually our 7th World Water Day, and if it weren't for COVID, this would have been our 9th. So thanks for coming out today on this beautiful snowy day. We do have wagon rides and quite a few fun activities in store for you. But today we have a very special guest from the Ohio School of Falconry. And this is to represent Egypt, because of course in Egypt it is an ancient art to fly falcons. And so Joe Dorian and his colleague Amy are educators with the School of Falconry, and they came all the way from Columbus today to fly their birds. So if you could please give them a warm but quiet welcome, because we do have a lot of wildlife here in the house. We'll be actually flying some birds across the room, so please stay seated, and I'll let Joe give you the rest of the rules and a little bit about the birds today. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. How are you? Good. You guys hear me fine? Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Joe. Hi, Joe. That is the worst Cleveland welcome I've ever done. Let's try that again. This is the home of my beloved Browns and Cavs. I'm sorry I'm not quite into the new name of the baseball team yet, but so hi, I'm Joe. Man, that was good. That was good. Now I've got a young lady over here who was one of my best apprentices ever. I'll let her introduce herself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Amy. Joe was actually my falconry sponsor like 7 years ago. And I
You're a master now.
Huh?
You're a master now.
I am almost a master falconer, but I do get to help him with some programs. I'm actually from up here. I'm from Ashtabula County, but I can help on occasion now still with programs and things for him.
Which is great. So, say hi to Amy. All right. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit. So this bird here is a peregrine falcon. In fact, this is the bird that you see in the picture up on the screen. Now, peregrine falcons are one of the two most highly sought after birds historically in the sport of falconry. The other being the mighty gyr falcon. If you're going to take a picture, please feel free to do that, but don't stick the camera right up in the bird's face. As the bird walks around with Amy, two things to look to Africa, to the north of Africa, that are not necessarily used in the sport of falconry, but they are native to the Egyptian environment. So when you look at this bird's very small, slender wings, you will notice that it's very new. The next bird that we're going to pull out is the most sought after falcon used in modern day falconry. Historically, this was the bird that everybody from the sheikhs in the Middle East for the winter. This is, now notice, this bird has something on its head. Does anybody know what that on its head is called? A hood, absolutely. So it's called a hood. The hood is one of the old tools of the sport of falconry. Falconry itself is about 4,000 to 6,000 years old. Like I said, this idea of the hood itself is used to actually calm the bird because it is high-strung. That high-strung tendency of the bird comes from the factor that it has a high metabolism. It is a pursuit predator. When we talk about birds of prey, if you notice, the other big thing about this bird is it has a large chest muscle. So the way that falcons actually can get lift with those tiny little wings is because they have that big jet engine. They have that chest muscle. Hornbills all basically look the same. There are some people that can say there's up to 28 different subspecies. Some people say it's 2 to 3. I go with the 3 for the simple factor it's easier for me to remember. So there is the eastern barn owl, which is found including around Egypt. And Quinny here is a western or a European barn owl. This is the type of owl that you might find in the northern part of Africa. Okay? Then we also have the American barn owl, which looks just like the European or Western barn owl, the Americans. And so when that bird flies, the air doesn't hit it and goes straight. It actually is broken. Now this is Savannah. How'd you do in telling us how she looks? She is pretty, isn't she? Okay, would you call her ugly? First, so you can see her up close. Now you'll notice that all underneath, she is white. Now when we work with kids, it's important for us to have them look at that because we want to teach them about the beauty of... Okay, so if you've been selected, stand up and come on over here. Okay, apparently only one person has been selected so far. Now, you notice how she flew over. Now you notice as she flew, that's why we need you guys to stay seated. Because if she's for some reason surprised by you popping up,
Bye.